Might want to remember the microphone, the most valuable part. This whole setup. So, okay. Do something a little different, maybe so I don't have to stay up till 12 in the morning. I'm off today, so I figured why not do a midday stream? They're all the rage these days. Although I'm seeing there's a few channels I follow that did midday streams today, so I'll have to like catch up after this. So maybe I'll catch some people at different times. Hopefully you're having a good work day. So I was supposed to, well, I had there was a trip, so I had to take 2 Fridays off for a potential trip I'm going to take. So I think it's going to be the other one. So getting into it, I think Bacon will join in a minute. Shit, did I? Oh, SCHD Stan already. What do you say? Check it out. Okay. But anyways, like holy shit, that's all I gotta say. Oh, the man of the hour.
Hey.
So, are you still in semester or is it over at this point?
Nope.
Nope.
It's
over?
Yeah. Yeah, at least this round is. But hey. So we're talking about this.
I'm like, yeah, we'll talk about it for a little bit. There's a whole bunch of people doing streams today. I gotta like Dumb Money did one. Mark. I need to actually update my recommended channels on my YouTube channel. There's like 3 I want to add, and there's one I definitely want to remove. So I'm gonna alter some of my recommendations. I think I had Dividend Data as a dividend channel. So I'm going to remove that. I don't recommend listening to that guy anymore because he put out some ridiculous course. Ryan was talking about it. Ryan Dengler. He's like, 7 years of knowledge in this course, and he's like $100. And then I guess people complained in his Discord because he doesn't actually talk in his Discord that people pay for, except to shill his products. So
yeah, that's a problem. Like,
I mean, we can say like Fabio puts work into Discord.
Oh yeah,
or busy.
Yeah, and
even flows. So
and even when he is traveling, like he still manages to like squeeze in here and there where he can, and is like tries to make himself accessible. It's
the only I still say the only Discord I've ever seen that's sustainable where the person that created it just like doesn't even message people is like Ryan Williams.
Yeah,
like, every other one, if the person that creates it doesn't talk on like a semi-regular basis, they die pretty fast. Ryan's is the only one where it's like he doesn't really talk in it. It's still pretty active community. Craig, Craig is here. I always kept calling him Stan, but
hello HSCHD Stan.
I did see you were on Ryan's alternative YouTube channel. I not remember the name of it, but good stuff. Alias.
Yep. Hello, fake alias.
As he crunches numbers at work.
Yep.
I'm just a loser government worker, which is fine. I'm not going to get doged anymore, so I don't have to worry about that. So
I think it was a different level of government too, but
yeah, not federal. Yeah. My federal friends are not having a fun time, but I think some of them just accept the next 3 years are going to be bad. So they're just buckling down. Anyways, so this Trump's like we talked about it last week. That was after he called the bill an abomination. I mean, I did not think it would roll. Oh my goodness. Like
the calm before the storm.
Like I thought they would just break up or something. Like I mean, who nobody could be like, oh, this is exactly how I thought it would go. Like you thought the richest man would attack the United States president, the sitting president of the United States getting attacked by the richest man in the world on Twitter while we all just sit there and watch it. And they just went back and forth like teenage girls. Oh my God. I'm just thinking when I'm reading this, I'm like, where's Elon's like assistant to run in and just smash his phone? Like for real. Elon needs to have a secretary that just runs in, just chucks the phone when he started getting into the Epstein stuff. Oh my God.
Yeah, that was really bad.
And
Was,
then the stock just free falled as this is going on. Like as the tweet war is going, this Tesla is just dying. Every person that runs like any sort of hedge fund is like, oh my God. Like and there was comments from certain as the battle was going. Now you can see the damage today where I've seen interviews of like people that run retirement systems that are like, I don't think we can hold Tesla anymore. So, I mean, the damage, it's unbelievable. It still trades at the multiple it does. It's unbelievable. He's attacked, like Elon has pissed off the left's people. He's pissed off now the conservative MAGA people. He's pissed off people that run hedge funds that would just want stability. They just want stability. They don't want this crackhead stuff that he's doing. And then fund managers and retiree administrators. Like, it's just like he's pissing off everybody except for the cultists still by the dip always. But
it's okay, Dan. We're back to a little bit north of $300 a share. It's okay.
It's up. Jesus.
I mean, it's still not as high as it once was, but you know, if we got some more days of this, then Elon probably doesn't care. Probably, maybe.
What we think happened, like what I think happened, I think we'll find out more. But I think Trump was making money. I think Elon was actively paying Trump somehow, whether it was through his campaign fund or who knows, maybe he was giving him crypto. I don't know. I think they were never friends. I think Elon literally was paying for access. Like we all think this, like it's just disgusting to think about. Like the richest man in the world is actively paying for political, or he did, and he was paying for political access to the United States government. I totally think this. I think he was paying a lot of money to Trump to get on Doge, get access, go to the meetings, you know. And I think it crossed the line. The top secret briefing he was going to get on China. I think that crossed the line. Yeah. I don't think. And then I think Trump shut it down, and then that was like the beginning of this. And then it just spiraled after that. And then that awkward press conference now. Oh my God, that press conference where Trump was tweaking. But man, this back and forth, like this is just mind blowing. It's just mind blowing. Like the U.S. president and Elon's just going at Trump again, the sitting president of the United States, the one person you don't attack like this in the world, just out of respect for the office of the president of the United States. Like and then he started talking about, I mean, some of this, like, okay, cut the EV. I mean, did he really think the Republicans were going to keep the green energy credits? They were attacking all these green energy credits last year during the campaign. So I don't know if Elon's pretending he doesn't care, but that had to hurt. What other tweets do we got?
Sorry.
Oh, Trump said that he saw the bill. Elon's like, false. I'd never seen the bill in the dead of the night. So he's fact checking Trump like live yesterday. Oh my God. And then he's retweeting people. Holy shit. He's calling back tweets that Trump did during Obama's era, talking about the debt ceiling. Oh my God. This is.
I wonder, does Elon Musk have buyer's remorse, or did he simply like get the payment system wrong where like he had a discounted 1 month or 6 month trial period and he didn't pay the subscription?
So we know for a fact, like he was trying to, so, you know, okay, I think Doge was his cover. I think he went in, he was trying to cut government, but in reality, the Doge was a cover for him to get access to the government to do certain things for Tesla and himself. I totally believe that.
Yeah.
I think Doge was just a way for him to get in while he was paying Trump. And then you could see, okay, what happened? He went to the Middle East. Okay, why is the Doge guy going to the Middle East? And then we find out, okay, now he's trying to get XAI into these deals that the government was making with Sam Altman, and I think what Oracle was involved about AI and infrastructure with the Middle East. And then we're hearing Trump was trying to get his company put into it. So, and then we hear the solar credits. If to say he doesn't care about the EV car credits is lunacy. That's a big source of matters. That's a big deal for his company. Yeah. And then the credits for like charging stations. So now we're just running through this crazy back and forth. And to think he doesn't, like, I don't believe it. I think he paid for access to influence the government for the benefit of his own companies. When he saw it wasn't going his way, he left. He either stopped paying Trump or he just left. And then it went downhill. And then to just attack the president on this bill, and this is Trump's bill on spending. What a wild time we live in. What else? Oh my God. Just some of the retweeting, like, God, it's just crazy to think that he was attacking Trump like this. Where is Mike Johnson? Okay. And then he's retweeting political stuff. I think people like realistically, we don't need to balance the budget. We're never going to balance the budget. It's just you have politicians running for office every 2 to 4, 6 years. It doesn't make sense for them to do massive cuts that will be severely unpopular because they're going to affect all of us. Saying you're going to get rid of you're going to balance the budget by ending waste, fraud, abuse. Get out of here. You have to make substantial cuts to programs that matter and hurt people. If you're going to cut food stamps, you're going to cut Medicaid, you're going to cut people's health insurance. You're going to have to cut like veteran benefits. Like these are the big spending items in the federal government. You can't get around these items. Social Security, you're going to have to restrict eligibility.
Yeah.
All these big ticket items, you're going to have to do something. You can't just go around the edges, slicing off little waste and fraud and abuse. It's a rounding error. Everything Doge did was a rounding error. It doesn't matter. And I don't think anybody has the balls to do what needs to be done. I don't think either side. Nobody wants to do what has to be done.
No, because you'll vote yourself out of job.
People go look at the town halls of these people when they just went back home for Memorial break. You can see even the hardcore conservative areas of the U.S. They were like, "You're going to take my health insurance," right? People screaming at them when they heard about Medicaid being restricted. Like, none of them have the balls to do this. And so can we? Their plan is to grow out of this problem. Yeah, okay. I mean, sustainably, I could see here's the part: they're not restricting the growth of the federal government. You restrict the growth of the federal government to like, I don't know, 1-2%. And then you accelerate the growth. Okay, that's how you grow your way out. But it looks like what they're doing, they're going to increase the GDP, and the spending is not being resolved or decelerated. I mean, I don't see it. I don't see any path forward. But I think like Strongman had said, this isn't an imminent problem. We can go the next 20 years not resolving this debt.
Odds are, yeah.
As long as the US is still the currency of the world and people want to buy treasuries, this is not an imminent problem. We can go for a while before this becomes a real big problem. And politicians know that, and they want to get reelected. They don't want to take people's health insurance. Oh, Jesus Christ. Some of this, look at the Epstein stuff. Oh my God.
Just because some of us suspect it. I was going to say, just because some of us suspect it, like, doesn't mean it needs to be said if you are a publicly that important.
The most shocking thing Elon said, I didn't see it when I was scrolling. Maybe he deleted it. I'm sure it's in there. When he said Trump would not have won if I didn't help him. Yeah. That was the one I'm like, there's no coming back from this fight at that point. You want to hurt an elected official. That's probably one of the most insulting things you could tell an elected official is that you only won your elections because of me. Like, whoever you are. Like, I'm sure Trump has heard the Epstein stuff a million times. I'm sure he doesn't care. That the saying that you wouldn't win an election only because I was paying you and campaigning on your part. God damn. But and then it's like these Republicans, like I said, nobody has freaking the balls to do what it takes to balance the budget's out of the question to me. Like, let's talk about something that actually makes sense. Restricting the growth of the government. Because I think some people have said, well, okay, why can't we, pandemic's over. Why can't we go back to pre-pandemic federal government spending? Okay, legitimate question. No one's answered it. I went at like that Mike Lee guy. He's the fakest. I hate that. I can't stand him. The senator from, is it Utah?
No.
He's so fake. All he does is post about how the government has big issues, the budget, the deficit's a crisis, all this. And it's like, what are you going to do? You have no specific plans to resolve any of this. All you do is grandstand all fucking day. Same with Rand Paul. They just grandstand all the time. And they're worthless. Can't stand it. I remember Rand Paul used to critique like the government spending on the military, and he would say he's a libertarian, and then you'd see him go speak in front of like a freaking aircraft carrier. It's such a joke, these people. So there is no libertarian cause. It's all bullshit. So, and this is like ridiculous. Elon. It was funny, like for Elon to come out and say I'm on. So not even just to say like I'm on. He's like totally denying he's on any drugs at all, instead of just saying I'm responsible. Like, I don't know, like claim, at least say you took something. Like he's like, I take nothing. Bullshit. I believe so. He can't admit he's taking anything. He's a CEO of a public company. Like there'd be lawsuits immediately if he admitted to taking ketamine. Oh my God. Like the board wouldn't do anything, but okay. This just keeps going, this back and forth. Oh my God. He needs to stop. This is ridiculous. But I liked your photo.
Like my port wasn't up by that much yesterday, like the active component of it, but like
some of our
it was funny.
Yeah, we have some stuff doing pretty well right now.
Yeah, it was doing all right yesterday, like relative to the rest of the market. So that was amusing.
So I don't know, where are we? Like, it doesn't seem like the market cares, other than Tesla was the big one that got clipped yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Lululemon got smashed down pretty hard. SCHD. Oh,
Strongman's in the wage cage. I think Elon got exposed by the Wisconsin judge. Trump is kind of dumb, so I think they might have actually rigged it. So I think he may have thought, yeah, that wasn't a good look either. It's like Elon's so weird. Like you're the richest man in the world, running one of the most influential companies in the world, let's say, and you're going to Wisconsin to campaign for a state judicial election. Mm-hmm. This is so odd. It's just so odd. Like when I saw him do that, I'm like, this is beneath. Don't you think that's beneath someone of Elon's stature?
Should be
to run, to go to Wisconsin about a federal or a state judge's election.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so weird. I couldn't get over that. So there was Trump responded. Yeah, what did Trump respond? That he was going to cut all funding, which is what I kind of thought he would say. He was going to cut funding to Elon's companies. He threatened to, and then Elon's like, I'm going to pull my rockets. And then some Twitter account with 100 supporters kind of calmed it down, I guess, for a second. And then they went back and forth. So I don't know. This is really bad for like Tesla. Like we said, you're pissing off now fund managers, retirement administrators who don't want to be political at all. Mm-hmm. They just want to administer money for their people and collect a fee. They don't want to be in this. So they're going to be like, if I hold Tesla, I'm making a statement now. You're making a political statement by holding this stock, which is what publicly traded companies should try and avoid at all costs. You don't want to be political because you're pissing off somebody that could buy your product or so forth. So, I mean, nobody cares apparently because Tesla's up today. But if you believe FSD is a thing, you have to have state and federal regulators are going to be part of making FSD and robotaxis come to fruition. You're pissing off a lot of people, Elon, right now. So that's not great. Where's the focus? Okay, robotaxis are supposed to go on, they're supposed to go live this month, right? Where's the attention to the robotaxis? Elon's too busy trying to destroy, I don't know what he's trying to do, like impeach Trump or something. Where's the focus on the business? So, and then there's other companies now showing that they can do robots too, which we've said before, like the robot part is not impressive. A lot of companies make a humanoid looking robot. That's not the big deal. The big deal to me will be the software, because that's the difference. Any company right now will sell you a human. There's lots of companies that do humanoid robots. BMW makes them, Toyota, Hyundai, plenty of Chinese companies I've seen. The question will be like the programming is where it'll make a difference. Can you open it, pull it out of the box and tell it to do something and it just does it? You don't have to pay for expensive programming, right? Yeah. That's the difference. So I don't see it. I think NVIDIA is, that's why I say my money's on NVIDIA to be the one that makes it robotics come to fruition. That's why I believe in them more.
Yeah, because with NVIDIA, it's not just the hardware hardware component; it's a software component.
And they can make. They don't have to build the robots. They can make deals with Toyota to make robots, which they are partnering. And then Tesla keeps saying that they. I always hear like, oh well, we can license out Tesla software as like a bull case. It's like, okay, how about they fucking do it themselves? Number one, can they do it first before we talk about licensing? These people are going to like the fourth step, and we're not even on step one of this process with Tesla. I just think it's ridiculous. Like, how about they actually start doing driverless taxis, meaning not a person in the front, so driverless like Waymo, which I have a feeling when they start going, they're going to have people in the front, because I bet you they won't have all the proper checks and regulations fulfilled to actually be autonomous like Waymo. So, okay, that's useless. You know, a person in the front seat is useless. That doesn't tell you anything. This company is just so stupid. It's just like, and then now all of a sudden people were talking yesterday about Tesla should get into drones, now. Do you see that? People want them to start making drones because drones is a hot topic because of Ukraine strike. So let me get so wait, we're not even FSD is not a thing yet. It's not there's no robo taxis. There's no Optimus. The only sales of Optimus are internal, those Tesla. But now we're going to make drones. There you go. Let's just add more hopium and then
That,
but
like we're talking about a space though that already has existing players. Like the commoditized hobby drones are pretty much effectively already commoditized. If we're talking like the bigger hardware that the U.S. military has already like used that a lot of people can regularly cite, that's already like there. Like you could conceivably make an entry attempt, but I don't know if that juice is worth the squeeze necessarily for them.
do they have
And
pranks?
Lululemon, yeah, they did. It's not so much that their performance was horrendous; it's more so that it appears that like their forward guidance was ugly. Because like Abercrombie and Fitch, and I know it's different fashion brands, but Abercrombie and Fitch, Macy's, American Outfitters, they all either like pulled or like have reduced their guide as far as like bottom line profit goes.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
Business value its impacts, I believe, better positions. Okay, blah blah blah. Where's guidance?
because my
Here we go.
suspicion might be bad inventory management, possibly.
No, that's not what we're maintaining our revenue guidance for the full year. I thought they pulled it or reduced it.
Yeah, because I think it might have been the bottom line that their guide. At least that's what like I haven't listened in and I haven't read the transcript. But
Just being okay. Updated guidance outlook for full year 2025. We
yeah,
expect revenue in the range of 11. Okay, and this range represents growth 5.7.
okay, so they do expect it.
23rd week, we continue revenue growth, so we can expect.
So I guess
So this is why I still Decker still is projecting 15% growth.
Oh yeah,
They have not pulled from that. Last quarter, I think it got punished because they were a little under 15. They were guiding 15%. I think they only got 12% overall. Some of the categories, though, it's better than that. Okay. I mean, this is not great for Lululemon. 5 to 7%. Okay. We now expect growth margin decrease of 110 base points. First 20. Well, okay.
Okay. So that's part of
prior guidance. Okay. Prior guidance, 60-point decrease. So they've increased their costs based on revising. Okay. Guidance. Jesus Christ. This, I tell you what, this is tough. And people like, you want to be a stock picker. You want to pick stocks. Okay. All of these companies in this space are getting punished for the most part. They're all getting hammered. 10% tariffs, right? For a volume business like clothes. And they all come from China, Vietnam, Indonesia, whatever. And none of them are safe from this. So you do what you pick the one with the best balance sheet that you think can handle, navigate these situations. And then you ride with them for 5 years. I mean, like you just brought up though, like one good sign of a good management team at one of these companies is inventory. which we always look at because we're like, who can manage? Because that tells you a lot about their management team.
Yeah. You have to,
If they can't manage their inventory, like how good of a how good of a retailer are they? Like we saw with Nike.
Yeah.
Nike, poor performance, inventory issues. There's been some others. Decker, I did not notice any inventory issues, which means they're able to project and modify. Oh, Target, that's the other one. Target, terrible inventory management. Markets punish them. So you can kind of see the ones that have inventory issues are the ones that get punished, which tells you that they don't see what's coming or they're not able to navigate difficult times. So fuck Lulu.
Yeah.
I've never been a fan of this company. I think it's one product. That's what bugs me. Like I know they have clothes. I know they have shirts and men's clothes, but it's a legging, right? They sell women's pants. Like, I don't know.
They call it athleisure wear.
Yeah, I've never really liked I don't get behind this so much. And this could fall out of fashion so fast where I think a shoe company could be a little better defended from style changes and adapting. A pure clothing play. I mean,
Tough
who saw
space.
Abercrombie coming back like they did, right?
Yeah, that's
so hard.
why. Yeah, their CEO, I think was Fran Horowitz. Yeah, like she quietly might be like, in that discussion for like amazing CEOs to turn that one around. Like,
how's their inventory? Okay, that's not great. It's increasing pretty good chunk.
Yeah,
okay, that's not great.
Like maybe there's a seasonality aspect. Maybe we've hit an inflection point on like how many places they can be. I don't know. It's concerning though. Like you don't want to be on the wrong side of inventory in this space.
It's up from last year by quite a bit.
Yeah, and
that's not a good sign. So
slashing
margins down, inventory's going up. Their guidance on still positive but reduced. I mean, 5% growth revenue is kind of shit. Let's be real. Like that's like IBM type growth. Like, and at the multiple that I think they were at a pretty aggressive multiple before this clip, anyways, right?
Yeah, they're in.
So they were probably they probably were at least 26. I bet before this. Holy shit!
I wouldn't be surprised.
Man, I don't know. I still like Decker as far as if I'm going to play apparel or shoes. It's some people could argue on, but you might be right. On is doing really well, but I think in the long term, Decker, I think Hoka's are continuing to take market share from Nike.
Yeah.
You can see it in the number. Like shoe sales are growing slow, single digit, but they're still growing. And you can see Nike's losing business, and you see On and Hoka gaining business. So they can either, they can take market share from Nike and they just grow organically. And then I like that I have a few different shoe brands. Decker manages a few different shoe brands. So maybe if Hoka has a bad quarter, like UGG's not doing so great. So they have different styles. I'm just not convinced On running shoes are going to stay forever. Cause I just look at them and I'm like, the Peter Lynch in me is like, I think these are ugly as hell. I think some of the magic with On though, is that, it's an expensive running shoe.
Mm-hmm.
It's very distinctive looking, right? To me, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
if you're upper middle class, let's say, not say rich people, but you want to wear a shoe where people know it's an expensive shoe. You know what an On running shoe is. It's got that weird, rectangle bottom thing.
Yeah.
So, I get it. Like I get that part. I don't know. I don't know how I just think they're ugly. It's hard for me to wrap my brain around it. Lulu still has good growth in China. Okay, China.
Mm-hmm.
The great nation of China. But it is subject to trends, as you noted. I don't know. Like, think about like what's the limit? Like, okay, say some soccer mom likes Lululemon pants, right? And they probably rip at a decent rate because it's spandex. And you can't patch spandex or like, polyester stretchy clothing. Once it rips, it rips. You can't, like, it's not like jeans where you could put a patch on it or sew it. So like what's the threshold? Like, I have a feeling like, are they going to pay $125 for Lulu leggings? Right. There has to be some top to what you could charge for something like that. Like, honestly though, like I think like running shoes. I mean, we're getting like $180 price points on these, and they're still selling and growing. I think you could still keep going with a solid, really quality. They could still raise prices more, and I think people would buy it. I'll be honest, like because you only have 1 or 2 pairs of shoes. I think you can justify in your head buying that, but like, how many pairs of pants do you need? Like, do you really want to?
Yeah.
Like, how much are they going for right now?
Yeah, because at least for the trajectory with some adults, it's less clothing in the wardrobe and more about the durability of that clothing.
Like, I put more money into my hats and my shoes than
Mm.
my clothes. I'll be honest. I don't put a lot. Like, I go occasionally to LL Bean. Okay, pants. Let's see. Like, I want legging. Oh, should I have clicked leggings?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, like what's a generic black? I'm assuming. Okay, let's just click this one. Black. Jesus Christ! Like, we're getting. I don't know, man. Like, my wife doesn't own Lulus. I don't know what she buys actually. I know she doesn't buy these, but like, we're getting to a point like, how much more can they take? That's kind of crazy. Like, you can go to Amazon and buy stretchy legging pants for probably $10 right now, right? How much that premium?
Probably, roughly, yeah. Yep.
Like, it's just getting more and more. I would worry about that a lot with this company. Like, is someone going to pay $150 for these? Right? How far can they raise prices? We could all be wrong. My current highest conviction is a company that makes colostomy bags. Well, that is quite interesting. Not a bad idea.
I chuckle, but like, I don't scoff at the idea. Like, if the numbers make sense, it could work.
Yeah, totally. Damn, I did not see them getting clipped like that. I think I bought it once with Fabio. We rode it after they got I think it was last time they got pulverized by the market. I think we bought it and rode it a bit. I've never been long on this company. We might have. It might have been this. I don't remember. Maybe it was November. Material is OP though.
Could be. Yeah. Again, I'm not familiar. I'm out of ignorance on that one. But yeah, me personally, based off of what I'm seeing, it's not for me.
Maybe we should update. Nobody else had a stock I saw. So
yeah. For this
HII. One. So we did a video. December?
Yeah, thereabouts.
So okay, we'll do year to date here. So
it's bouncing around here.
We're pretty happy with it. I'm at I think I'm at 181 cost basis, something like that, low 180s. So I think you're lower than me, aren't you?
It's very comparable. I forget exactly right now at this moment. Like, when you mention stock names, I'd be like, yeah, it's fine.
I'm trying. I was thinking this week. I'm like, what's more positive we could see coming? Because like, there's no budget. Again, there's no. I can't believe this isn't a bigger deal than the fact that the Department of Defense has not created a budget, and they're supposed to get $1 trillion. $1 trillion, and they have not created a budget to tell the American people where the money's going to go. This has to sink in. Like, every year it comes out in March. Pretty much every year, March, you get the DoD budget, right? And here we are, June. So that's one thing we don't know. Like, could it be positive or negative? Like, we don't okay, $1 trillion more spending. It's but where is it going? We don't know. You can look at like the plans. The Navy puts out plans for shipbuilding, but what they do like contingencies. So like the Navy will put out their shipbuilding and they're like, well, here's option A, B, or C, depending on where the money goes. And they don't know either. So you can't really rely. They give you quantities of ships. So I guess the biggest question we have right now is the carriers, which was the same as we talked about in December. Like, they could accelerate the carrier production or they could delay it. We don't know. That's the big question. Because there's one carrier that's being worked on. Then there's one where, if I remember, there's one where they're like laying the initial phase of it right now. Like, I don't even know if they put the bones of it down. So that's the big question. Like, the monkey in the room, the funding on that? Are they going to pay for 2 active developments? And I think there might be a third in the planning stage at this point. So that's our question. And we know there was they furloughed a bunch of workers at their Newport News facility.
Yep.
So I think we talked about this with people in Capital Mindset, which it popped up on this. I have a news feeder I downloaded this app where you tell you put like search terms in it. It's not even about stocks. It's just, you just say like what you want it to pull, and it'll pull anything that tells you related to that, like words. So I put like Huntington as something to search. Wait, Huntington. Let's see. Story. Furloughs. I should put furloughs, right?
Yeah. I mean, the good thing that I saw was
here it is.
There was news that I think like Homeland said they've canceled an order or two or something like that, and Stonk is still technically green on the day. So,
is that today news?
Yeah, apparently it was today news, or at least according to my broker, it was today news. So,
what'd they cut? What was it?
Probably some sort of like small, basically cutters. Let me see if I can find it.
Okay, so this was about a week ago, I guess. They furloughed, because they're union workers, most of them people. So they furloughed a shitload of people, like 400, which sounds like a lot, but this is a massive facility, tens of thousands of people. So the implication that we're getting looking at this is that this statement was pretty good too. CEO Chris Castor told reporters the shipbuilder is no longer looking to hire green workers off the street, focusing on attracting those who've had experience. We said like a big problem with them was their labor issues, because they had issues with welding. And then I think this was the repercussions from their welding problems, is that they found, this is what I'm feeling from this. They did some investigations and found people responsible for the welding issues on the ships. And then that's probably what these 471 people represent, because this is not a layoff. This is something more specific than that. So this is positive for us, though. This tells us that management is trying to alleviate one of our biggest concerns, was just that they have worker issues. Like they have to bring in newer workers to replace the boomers that are retiring, that have probably been building boats longer than we've been alive, but they're retiring, and now they need to bring in new people. And then I think it caused problems with ship production. So I think they're addressing it. I think they have to, if they got all this new business coming, if we want to start building ships at a rapid pace. So they're going to have political push to make this more efficient anyways. Or they're gone. Either they're going to fix this, or I think they're going to have new management come in at some point if they don't get better. So, and people are going to go, oh, this is a boring ass company, I can't buy it now. I'm like, what do you want? We talked about it in December. I don't know what to tell people. So there's that.
Yep.
What else is new updates? Boeing is just like, we're waiting for the caps to get lifted. I don't know what else there is to talk about.
Yeah.
Production caps getting lifted. That's really it. You're buying it for that. If production caps get listed, or if they get lifted, I think it's gonna be immediately like a $250 stock with the production capabilities they have. But it's funny, Trump using Boeing as like a tour de force on his political traveling. He goes somewhere, they talk about tariffs, and then they come out of it saying they have an order for Boeing planes. It's like every time he's gone somewhere, they end up with Boeing orders. I did not see that in my rubric. My bingo cards did not have that in it. Which, it's like, okay, they just throw another order of ships or airplanes on the pile, right? 5,000 plane wait list. Oh yeah, you want 20 more planes? We'll throw it in the pile. It's like the countries are probably like, yeah, we'll buy some planes, which will never happen, and we don't have to pay for it because we're at the end of the line. So it's like a political stunt almost.
The beauty of a duopoly, and one of the other duopolies or the other companies like, no, we're here, we're stuck here, we're not growing.
I still don't. I don't know why Warren Buffett didn't buy half of Boeing after the union deal got made. Maybe it's just because he wasn't buying. Maybe he didn't want to do any big acquisitions before he retired. because he must have known at that point because he's now declared it. So I'm sure he thought about it before. But I thought that was like such an obvious point to buy Boeing was as soon as the union deal had clarity and they had an agreement, it was at like 150 at that point. I'm like, man, I was like thinking some big investor was going to swoop in and buy a bunch of Boeing stock at that point. Nobody. So, and like Berkshire has railroad investments. So I think they have a good understanding of industrial, stocks.
Should. Yeah.
So I was really kind of confused by that. That wasn't like a bull thesis I had. I just was I thought it was odd. And he could have bought half of Boeing with the cash in his pocket at Berkshire. What, they got 300 billion in treasuries? Like he could have bought 40% of the company, wouldn't have sweat. But I know the rule. They have specific rules.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, it would have got out that he started buying it. So I don't think he could keep that one secret for long. Becky can't resist Lululemon for reals. So what other you want to talk about?
This was kind of like spur of the moment for me. I didn't have anything.
Yeah, I just felt it.
Yeah, it's a nice random string.
Hold on, I got this. Okay. Oh, I don't know if this will. I was just reading up on. So this is coming this year. I'm pretty sure. The that dude that made the Oculus.
Oh yeah.
His defense company. It's going to go public this year. I don't know why it wouldn't. They're talking about. I think they're talking about $40 billion valuation. Could be. This one in February, discussions were raised at 2.5, potentially doubling its valuation to 28. Okay. I think they're up to now potentially talking about $40 billion valuations on Anduril. I don't know, man. If this goes public, like it's interesting, but it's not like some hidden gem that no one knows about. He's on the news all the time.
Yep.
He's constantly on CNBC. He's pumping the stock because he knows the IPO is coming. So he's doing his job as a CEO. He's pumping the stock right now in preparation for an IPO. I would be very hesitant to buy this. It's tricky though, because you could see it if it goes public, it could rip. Because drones are in the news. As long as Ukraine is in the news, you're going to get drone stuff coming out of that in the news, like another strike. And people are going to then go look, and this is going to be it's going to be in their minds because it just IPO'd. I could see it rip. It's tough. I think the valuation is going to be like disgusting when it goes public. But we heard the same stuff. I mean, look at what Reddit did. Reddit ripped after IPO too. I think some people complained about the valuation when it IPO'd at 40 and it got all the way up to 200. So I don't know. I think their drone tech, I struggle with the drone stuff is tough. It's so tough because like what we talked about Fabio, like what is it, 6 days ago? It's like, I don't think the investment's the drone production because I don't see what's the difference between this drone or that drone in America. I don't see the difference. I think the difference would be like the software component and then the defense drone tech is what you could actually patent. I think. I mean, can you really make a better engine for a drone? Is your engine going to be lighter, more efficient? I don't think anyone talks about stuff like that. So the software component of the drones could be a differentiator, and then the defense radar to detect them. The problem is, like we said, a lot of these companies are pretty well known at this point that are in this space because there's only a handful of them. So a lot of them already have gone pretty high valuation, and some of them are private. A lot of the ones that are very interesting are private still.
Oh yeah.
So you can't get a piece of it anyways. But this one will be interesting when it goes public. Maybe when they actually start putting out initial documentation before they go public, look through it. Yeah, I don't know.
I wonder, will this one like be comparable to Palantir as far as like retail interest and price movement?
I could see it. You kind of have the wacky CEO,
Yeah.
right? And he's very public facing, and AI. Yeah, you could totally see it. I'm not a no on this. I mean, we'll have to see.
Yeah.
This might be worth $10,000 at IPO. I might just say, fuck it. Just, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll just sell my drone shield and swap to this. We'll see. So I think it's at $1 a share at this point.
Yeah, I have some flexibility, and while BTI hasn't fully gotten to where some of us are thinking, I wouldn't mind necessarily rebalancing because BTI is quietly done quite well for us.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Very happy about it.
Oh yeah.
I don't. There was a time where I thought when it got to like 45, I thought about selling it briefly because I don't know. I thought it was. I always thought it was like a $45, $50 stock. But the pouches are just becoming more prevalent.
We have revenue growth, Dan.
I know they have a viable revenue growing product. Like this is so game changing. They don't have to buy other companies. They don't have to do nonsense. I don't even know. I don't think they have much vape anymore. Vaping, they need to. Vaping is a shitty investment thesis.
Yeah, kill it.
You're messing with people's lungs and then air pollution. It's just a dead idea. But I've been talking to, I know apparently more people do pouches than I thought. People do pouches to go to bed. I know people do pouches while they're out drinking, so they don't have to go outside to smoke. Pouches are becoming a part of culture and society in a way that vaping never was going to. Never. We were never going back to that type where, like, when I started going to bars, people were still smoking in bars. And then they had smoking rooms, right? And then they finally transitioned to no indoor smoking outside. But now it's not even smoking outside. You have to smoke outside a certain distance away from the entrance. So you can see, like, you're not unringing the bell of anything that you inhale is getting more and more restricted by governments and health regulators. It's just the way it's going to be. Pouches is totally different. It's like, I have not heard some sort of health concern that's going to restrict pouches at this point, other than them saying that you can't, age restricted. I don't think you can do certain flavors. That's still a thing, I'm pretty sure. I mean, the damage could be you could always get some health study come out and say that pouches lead to this or that issue. That's a risk. Question still is like the debt. Their debt pile is still severe. I know they sold some. We talked to Emperor Sauron about they sold
some of that Indian company.
Yeah, their Indian company. They sold They said they were never going to sell below 25% ownership because they wanted decision-making ability to stop silly things from this company getting through. That they just went under 25% ownership of that Indian cigarette company, but they did it so that they could pay debt and buy shares, right? So, and the valuation of that thing's been pretty high, or it's done pretty well. So, I just think it's a great bedrock investment these days because a lot of people are very tech focused. So a lot of people online, it's like, you have so many tech, you're going to have 4 of the Mag 7 probably, and then some spec tech plays. It's like, this is a good counter to that almost. Like, I think they should get more Caterpillar always, but Caterpillar and HVAC, there you go. That balance your tech portfolio.
Yeah, actually, it's HVAC is one of those. Just because of Aon, no complaints as an Aon shareholder.
It was so obvious. I don't know why I didn't double my position when it was at 70.
Could it be that you're shopping list?
I could explain exactly what happened. Like, it wasn't even a mystery. It was just they shut production down to go to the new refrigerant, which a lot of these companies had to. And they're through. A lot of these companies are still going through that transition to the newer refrigerants that are less ozone impactful. Supposed to be safer for the environment. I asked my brother because I'm like, well, what's the big downside? Because nothing's perfect.
Yeah.
The new refrigerants are more flammable. Is the one big concern.
Well,
so that'll come up. So I don't know if that means your house could catch fire or not, but they said it's more flammable, so it's more energy efficient also. That's a thing.
Oh, hopefully it's not too much more flammable. Then I don't know what the technical stuff would be, but
As far as housing, I guess we talk about. I've like okay. Let's not talk about only winners.
yeah, that
This has
one.
been a stinker. So, um, basically, my thesis never happened. I don't know. I don't know what else to tell people. Like what I was hoping for never happened. Interest rates didn't keep going down last year, which would spur more volume of housing transactions because I just thought there's this pent up volume, just like people moving, right? It's society,
Mhm.
people move. But when you go from a 3% interest rate to 7, there's a lot of people in America that just stop moving because you have a 3% mortgage, there's 7 now. You're just like frozen. Even if you want to upsize, downsize, move across town, all that stuff got put on pause. So I'm like, okay, at some point that will reverse. And then a company like this would benefit from just more volume of people moving. When you sell a house, you might redo the kitchen. When you buy a house, you might redo the kitchen. New housing construction kitchens and stuff like that. But it's like it just never happened. That's really just that's the story of this company. What I was hoping for, and the company was hoping for it too. It's not the company was fully. I'm listening to the calls. They were gearing up for last year to be when the housing recovered. They increased capacity at their new facility. They acquired another cabinet company. They did all this prep work and they're like ready to fucking expand and grow and build more cabinets. And then it's just like last quarter, like came to the realization it's just like it didn't happen. All their work prepping for this boom in housing is like last quarter was when it was like, yeah, it was apparent. Sales were down, volume was down, everything was down. And then management's discussion was about cost cutting. So it's like they bent the knee and admitted, yeah, it's the housing didn't recover. So now we're in survival cost cutting mode until it happens. In hindsight, I probably should have been concerned when they acquired that other cabinet company. That was
Mhm.
bad. I wasn't very happy about it, but it's not like I sold. But
Yeah.
that's not a good sign. If a company is telling you that they're expanding production in anticipation for this huge growing, sales, but then out of the blue they acquire some other random company at the same time. That doesn't really add anything viable, in my opinion. That should have been the warning sign that I kind of let go. Because if I'd sold at that point, it would have been a pretty decent return still. I think it was at
Mhm.
16 at that point. So I still would have had an okay return. So I'm at like a 1390 cost basis. So, but I'm not buying I'm not buying more and I'm not selling it. So
I'm
I,
still sitting on it. It's a stinker for me, but it's fine.
the time issue with housing, like people like housing is cheap. I'm like, yeah, housing stocks are cheap. There's a reason for it. There's no path to when housing recovers at this point.
Mhm.
Tariffs are a big problem for these companies for housing. Interest rates are the biggest problem. It's just hard to 7% mortgage is crushing to people when you consider they were like 2, 3, 4%. And now they're 7, and it's just like it's crushing. So it's impacted everything. Tariffs on lumber and hardware. A lot of hardware comes from China. Like no one's been safe from this. Like Lennar, like I can look at all like Lennar crushed. Toll Brothers crushed. Like
The
I'm pretty sure.
volatile builders for first source.
Yeah, Builders First Source got spanked. Yeah, just like so only thing I could say is like I want aggressive discounts now because there's no we don't know when the time of these recoveries are. They said 4 cuts this year and now what is it 2 now, and then some people are saying we ain't going to get no cuts this year, which I think that'd be and I normally like Jay Powell is doing the right thing and all. I'm like if he doesn't cut it by the end of the year, like I'm like thinking like is he like really trying to piss off? Is this like Trump revenge? Because at this point, I'm like, I don't see why he would. I know they're about stability, but like,
Mhm.
I don't think they got many excuses not to cut rates a little bit at this point, considering the Europeans have cut rates, the Canadians have cut rates, U.S. nothing. So I don't
Yeah.
know. I'm
And could also do like the little like 0.25, like
yeah. So housing, it's tough. It's like you're going to buy one of these companies, you better,
Mhm.
you could do really well or not. We don't know. Like, 2024 was supposed to be housing recovery. So here we are, mid 2025, and it's like nothing still. I don't have any faith in this. And then so I'm not expanding housing. I don't think I want any more housing stuff at this point.
Yeah, for me, I'm holding it just because it reduces the temptation for me to go into other places in that space. I may kill it if I see another really compelling idea, but for now, it can just sit and be
I bought a little
ugly
bit
to
of
the park.
builders when it was like 105. I bought like
Mhm.
20 shares. So it's like, I'll just hold that, I guess. I like this, like if this gets under 100, fucking open like I want a more aggressive discount now based on my thoughts. So like if builders gets under 100, man, back the Brinks truck up. That's my opinion. But the new home builders are, I don't find them very appealing. I mean, they could do well though.
Mhm.
Their financing is weird, how they do financing. But the other thing that bugs me about Toll Brothers and Lennar, you see both of them have videos of people buying new homes, and it's a horror story on YouTube.
Mhm.
I don't know. Like, there's some substandard housing being built. I saw one a few days ago for Toll Brothers where like the whole stone facade over his front door was about to fall in for this brand new house. They didn't
Mhm.
strap the bricks. So like you put there's like the siding and then there's bricks in front of it. There's supposed to be these ties, these little metal ties to attach to the wall. So when he
Mhm.
went up to look at it, there were no ties at all. And there was like one metal strap. It was totally not acceptable. But the company, I guess the company didn't fix it. He had to fix it. So I don't know. Oh, Dex has spoken.
Yes.
When I'm interested. So when we get some documentation about like their filings
Uh-oh.
before they go public, I'll look at it. Yeah, I am. Like I missed out on Reddit because I could kind of see with Reddit. I'm like I could see that like they could sell this data to these AI these programmers, but I chickened out.
Mhm.
So I don't know if I want to chicken out on this one. I have to see like what's so differentiated about their tech. I guess the AI drone tech software. Um, and I think they have drones. The idea is that it's not a one use item. It's not like it goes out and blows up and that's it. I think they have drones where it's repeat use and then it comes back. So that's interesting. Is that enough to make a difference? So, any other stocks?
Um. hmm.
What else have we talked about?
I mean, by and large, I don't have too much that like is causing me to panic or causing me great mental distress.
No,
Like my port's like okay, it's here. It's relatively settled. Um.
damn it! I knew I should have.
Oh, what? Oh, TSSI.
I almost sold it before we started because I was talking to Jesse about it.
Mhm.
Okay, I think I've been thinking about it. I'm probably going to put um, defenses. I think I'm just going to put a limit stop loss or something.
Yeah, it's fine.
About
Like if
20. It's about where I thought. I mean, it might go back to like 12, $13 at this point. This thing's a
yeah,
freaking psycho.
yeah, because if you have winnings, like I don't see what's wrong with taking winnings off of this name.
I mean, I didn't think I'd get another crack at it. I sold it for ANET.
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
same here. Like
I sold it
um,
back here, like when I bought it at like a 10 and then it dropped to 8. And I thought ANET was just, I rather would be in Arista
yeah,
when
same.
Liberation Day hit. So I just took the loss at that point.
Yeah,
Arista's
I
been great. But yeah, I didn't think it would drop. Like after I missed out on the earnings, I'm like, yeah, okay, I missed it. But
yeah. Everyone like point and laugh at me. I totally mishandled this one, but like I don't care because I used the money from this and put it into Arista. So
I
like
feel
for
safe with Arista. Well, people,
yeah,
TSSI could have better returns. And well, of course
Yeah.
it can.
It
It's
probably should.
it's a
Yeah.
micro cap, for God's
Mhm.
sakes. Like, yeah, but with that better returns comes you could wake up and look at your phone and it's down 20% in a day. So I feel
Yeah.
I sleep better at night knowing Arista is probably not, it's not most likely going to happen in Arista.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you bought this when COVID hit? Was it like 80 cents? Jesus Christ.
One hell of a ride.
Oh my God. Yeah, but there's no, like, who would have seen back then what was coming?
Mhm.
How's Dell's order? Is it, it's not, is it, it's HP, isn't it?
Is it?
No, it's Dell. Never mind. I was
Okay,
thinking
yeah,
of HP
yeah.
Enterprises. I know I looked at this before. Where's earnings? Okay. Guidance raised 15 billion AI server. Yeah, okay. I mean, I haven't looked yet. I'll look at that after this. Make sure I understand how Dell's business is doing. That tells you a lot about, obviously. It's like 90% of TSS is Dell. But they look like they have strong growth still. I'm not going to make this a position like Jesse and Andrew. I just can't.
Dell?
No,
Yeah.
TSSI.
Oh, TSSI, yeah.
I
Not
can't.
for me.
I feel okay at where I'm at. I'm not. I can't put like $100,000 in a micro cap. I think I'd lose my mind. So
I don't think I count myself as one of the best traders of all time, so it's not my jam, not my place.
we'll be poor forever.
Ring!
We know who that's from. Heat
Heat
pumps, dude. Yeah. In the end, like you can't go wrong with HVAC. I mean, I think to me, HVAC strongest thesis. Just sleep well at night. The next 20 years, like HVAC companies are like the ones that have, but I should say though, like, it's the ones that can reinvest in. It's a very technology driven industry. So you got to buy the players. I'm not buying no micro cap HVAC company. It's the big boys that have the capex to keep innovating and developing, better technology with heat pumps and electrification. That's not, Trump's not unringing that bell. It's just not. The whole, like the power, the utility companies are in, everyone's in on electrifying and more efficient heating and ventilation. It's not going away at all.
Yeah, that to me, like if
as solid as it gets, it's not based on green, and that's not based on green laws. That's like solar and windmills. HVAC is different.
you'd have to be pretty tinfoil hat to go after that industry. Like I could see 5G being ringed about, but some wild stuff.
So you can, if you can find this, I think you can find this online somewhere. This is mine. I've read through it. This is a little older. I think this is a year old at this point. Awesome read. If you read this, you'll understand what I'm thinking about heat pump technology. Like I'm in Aon, Tran, Carrier, the big boys. So I'm not doing. You got to be careful though, because you don't want the suppliers. Even though like the suppliers might have done really well recently, just due to macro, like because all the heat pump growth. So the suppliers that don't have the capex ability to develop this themselves. I mean, you could make money, but I don't think that's the thesis. I think you want to control the companies that own this tech is the more interesting play. I think Aon is, I should have done more when it was 70.
Could have been
Aon's the technology. I mean, it's not even the best performer. I just think it's the most exciting of the different investments. The best performer is Tran. That's not even a question at this point. Tran.
Yeah, I wanted to buy it. Never really. It
makes me cry because it was my least. It's my lowest allocation of the three. And look at this fucking thing. Goddamn rocket ship, dude. It's just a rocket ship. Because like these companies have the ability to develop this technology. It's a very capex intensive industry. Yeah. I have it makes me cry I didn't buy more, but and what's good about These like this isn't. I don't think there's political risk with these. I don't think either side is. There's just no one talking about not improving the refrigerants we use and the technology for the heating pump industry, because this is like not green. Like I said, that's the other solar, wind farm, all that garbage. So what other? Oh, TLN. Okay. We're at an hour, so we can end soon. This is not my idea. This idea came from, let me give him credit. Is it Enrique? Yes. So for people watching, follow him. He's a great follow on Twitter. Highly recommended. This was his idea. As far as I'm aware, this is where it came from. I think someone brought it into the community about TLN. So basically they have, I mean, if people lived under, I guess if you're not in CM, you don't know, but like they own a nuclear power plant. The nuclear power plant had stock before. They how much growth can you get owning a nuclear power plant? So they started going in debt to like buy back shares, I think, and other stuff like that. And eventually it blew up. So this is the company created out of that bankruptcy. I believe he was on this like 2 years ago, Enrique. I'm pretty sure he's been in it a while. He's made a really good return on this. I think we got aware of it in the fall, right? I think we were aware of it I remember the prices. It was like in the 160s, 70s when we started talking about it. So it must have been back here. I think that it was a twofold idea. It was number one, that they would be able to profit from data centers, which they actually have like a data center getting built potentially near them, which has been a political issue, nightmare, but data center demand for electrification, green energy for data centers, because they don't want like a freaking coal plant next to their data center, right? It's a little weird for Meta. So it's appealing for a data center, Microsoft or Amazon or Meta to be next to like nuclear, because it's not polluting the environment. Don't disagree with me. Don't worry about the waste. But so that's the one thesis, which has played out perfectly, I think, so far. So, but the problem, there's not really much growth. I guess you could say the rates are not their decision, though. The rates are, it's determined by governments usually, how much you can charge for electricity. So now we're in phase two. Phase two is they get bought. Because if you don't believe in phase two, I'd argue you probably just sell it at this point. If you just believe in the data center thesis, I think it's pretty much run at this point. But if you're in it still, phase two is they get bought out. And if they get bought out, they're going to get bought at a premium. So I did buy a little more last month on top of what I already had. So I think, here's my prediction. They're going to get bought by Christmas.
Who do you think will purchase them?
What is it? VST?
Oh, okay.
Let me see the name. No, it's not that. Yeah, this one.
Yeah, Vistra.
I think Vistra's going to buy them. I think Vistra's going to buy them at 300 or 325. That's my prediction. So we will see. Maybe they're waiting for rates to come down so they can borrow, because like Vistra doesn't have the money they're going to borrow it, right? They're going to borrow the money to buy them. That's my prediction. So maybe they're waiting.
Stock. Yeah,
my prediction. So, and if they offer stock, I'm fucking out. I hate those. Goddamn. I'm not doing stock acquisition holds. I hate those so much. Give me cash or leave me alone. So that's an interesting one right now. Okay, maybe we should talk about things that are interesting right now, I guess. I think Decker is still interesting. If you're willing to hold it for a long time, I think their growth, I think they have difficulties with tariffs. I think they're navigating it well. Watch their inventory. If their inventory starts to creep up, that means that I would be a little worried. And
I mean, account for seasonality.
Decker, do you think it's a $200 stock in 5 years? I guess that's for people watching. If you think it's a $200 stock in 5 years, to me it's a buy, because that's 100% return. I don't think that S&P 500 is going to do it 100% in 5 years. So there's the idea. And I think they're going to keep taking Nike share, and I think they are adaptable. And the fact that they're direct to sales, then retail focused is a differentiator. So what else? What else is interesting right now? I don't think housing is interesting. I can't. It's just fucking death. Buying any housing stock is death right now. A lot of industrial players have already run from Liberation Day. I don't find any of them particularly appealing. I don't think the HVACs are any appealing right now. I don't know. It's tough. Everything's run so much since Liberation Day. So
yeah, it was nice though. I got to be really, really quiet and have my shopping list and just buy some stuff.
yeah, I mean, this is you just kind of, I've really like ETFs have just given me the ability now that it's just like I can DCA into ETFs and just wait my shot on stuff. I don't have to jump from stock to stock anymore. It's kind of a different mindset for me the last year or so. But like I always felt like in the past you'd have to sell it and put it into something right away because you're saying, oh, well, this opportunity is better than what I had, so I'm going to trim or some other bullshit term. But I don't think there's opportunities. I don't think there's always opportunities that I can see. So I'm more patient now. But then there's lots of ETFs out there where you can just DCA into those, I think, while you wait. So I don't know. What else? Oh, I should show okay.
Oh yes, the ETF.
I don't want to show the other one yet. Maybe that's another time. But I think this ETF is super interesting. I started buying into this about a month ago. Is it done? Oh, it's done okay. I think we've talked about, like, I don't want to own international stocks directly, particularly. I think my only exception to that is like I want to own Hermes at some point. I really want to own that. But I didn't want to own European military stocks directly. I don't have you have to pay a fee to buy them. I don't have an international brokerage. I'm just not that interested. So I was like, how do I get NATO? I want, like, the thesis we've seen, like the spending, the NATO countries are agreeing to spend more, to catch up, let's say, because of the Russian threat. So you want exposure to the European partners, not just the US military. So there's a handful of ETFs you can find now where you get NATO exposure, let's say, where you get, like, it'll pull from all the NATO partners, not just the US military ETF, which I think most of the US military ETFs are garbage.
Yeah.
The way they weight them, their weightings, they either do equal weightings, which I don't like, or they just do market cap weighted, which is weird because then like 40% is RTX or something. It's like, I don't find that appealing. So this is interesting because they own not all, but any military stock domiciled in a NATO country can be part of this. So they're up to like 80, but you get exposure to all the military companies, in the NATO sphere, which if your thesis is the threats of Russia and China will accelerate military spending around the world, it makes sense to buy something like this. You don't really have an individual company thesis then. You have a thesis on the whole industry. So this gives you exposure to all these companies. So far, it's pretty good. I think I'm up 5% so far, but I'm just DCAing into this thing. And I did put some of my Curtiss-Wright money into it. I might honestly just sell all Lockheed Martin and dump it into this. I'm really close.
I mean, it has Lockheed in it, so
it has Lockheed in it, and this is more of the thesis going forward. I think will be Russia, China threats. I think the European partners are going to increase spending. Some people might be. It's brand new. It's only been out. It's not. I think it's a European company that runs this. It's not a big ETF, company. Whatever. Yeah. I'm going to hear it. I know in the comments, someone's going to say the expense ratio is so big. Look at it, 0.3.
It's not egregious.
I was like, it's a fucking It's not an S&P. What do you want? That's actually not bad. Like I was expecting something like this to be like a 0.6. So it'll be okay, people. You can always buy VT or VU if you want.
Yeah, no, it's
I'm gonna go through more drone companies, looking for drone investments. I guess that's about it right now. I think I'm about to get a thunderstorm, so I probably should plug it or turn off before I lose power or something.
Well, on that note, thank you again for having me.
Yeah, no more comment. I don't think I've done a midday ever, so
no,
be fun.
I think this is the first.
Yeah, not so news focused. Talk about stocks. I gotta go buy before the end of the day. Bye. So, can I just say I'll just appreciate I appreciate that Amit is becoming more of the face of finance YouTube than Meet Kevin.
I'll take it. It's not that much of a step forward, but
I mean, I don't watch everything he does, but I've just been noticing, like, because of how Palantir's been doing, like he's getting 5,000 to 7,000 viewers on his because he started doing these morning open and closes. I don't know if he did that in the past, but he pops up on my feed. Like I'd rather I don't know. Here's just I'd rather that he is like the face of finance YouTube than Meet Kevin and Graham Stephan. Point. So hopefully if he can get more viewers than Meet Kevin, I'm happy about it. But
the point of contention that I have biggest with Amit though is like people that think they've found the magical cheat code or hack of the options market. I'd be like, pump the brakes here. just pump the brakes. Like do some more digging. There are like wonderful people that actually operate in that space and can give better nuance. To the point where, at least for me, for however many months to maybe a year and change, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I don't know enough, and that's okay. Yeah.
I don't look for any white. I just like, I take people for what they are. Like, if you were really like, we can only take the sphere of who's on finance YouTube, right? I can't create some fictitious person to be like the head of this. And if someone's going to be like the leader of finance YouTube, the most viewers, let's face it, they're going to be full-time YouTubers. Number one, they can't be a part-timer like Fabio. Fabio would have to spit out more content. He's just not going to.
No.
So we can only take the people that do this full-time. So of those people full-time, like it's not the worst thing in the world that Amit might be the one that gets the most views and the most subs. He doesn't sell a course. He has a winning investment, right? Some of these people like don't have any winning investments. Like, so
I was gonna say Carlson.
His viewers have I just noticed like his viewers has blown up recently. I'm like, Jesus. So
fake alias said the same thing. He's not perfect, but like
Joseph's another one that just powers through. And you know, these again, like people like are gonna like fault them for certain things. You know what? At least they're not Meet Kevin.
Yeah,
they're not Meet Kevin. All right, like let's look at the people that do this for a living. Because there's some shitbags, right? We got We the Khmers. We know it's actively screwing people, and then they ban when they talk about the money they've lost, they get banned. Which he's off YouTube now, thank God. But you can only take who's here. I'd rather people listen to Amit and Joseph than Meet Kevin. So I can only pick the people that do this. The dumb money people, man, I don't know about them sometimes. Like I stick with them because they have an interesting perspective, and they made me quite a bit of money during COVID because his COVID picks were freaking nailed it. That was his time to shine as a social arb investor. He literally was doing streams where he would be like he literally was like, guys, the next GameStop will be AMC. He called it before it was a thing. It was amazing. And it worked out really well. So, but now I don't know, some of his takes lately, I just the main guy, Chris, I think he fell in love with the robot thesis. And I think he's like, he's in love with the robot thesis, but then he all of a sudden attached Tesla as the robot thesis. And I was like, why can't you think humanoid robots are coming? It's just, what if it's not Tesla though? What if it's NVIDIA? He like only attached Tesla as the only company that would like profit from the robotic, automation of the world. So that was kind of weird. So you have like, here's the thesis on what could happen. Then then you have to identify what companies benefit from that thesis. And he mushed those two things together. I don't know if I think he's lost money on, because I think he was buying Tesla at 400.
Oof.
But he gives you it's a different perspective on investing. Doesn't mean it's better. And he has tools that you don't have, which is another thing we have to realize. But it's interesting. But Jordan's like my spirit animal. The dude, the bald guy. Who would have thought? Both back. he's like me. Because he's like, pump the brakes. Let's think about this. Like, let's not go all in on every damn idea.
Good old Dex. Of course you would,
Dex. Dex is everywhere at all times. He's probably like a construct. He's an AI. He's everywhere at all times. You whisper his name and he appears.
I mean, the good thing with Dex though is he actually made more money on the B. Riley play than I did, I think, or at least even like percentages. But like, since I actually pretty closely watched that one, like the percentages and stuff were actually believable. Like, yeah, so good on you, Dex.
Yeah, we'll be like, we're like cheerleading. We did good. Dex just posts. He's like, I made like 3 times what you made. It's like, no. You just put your drink down and walk away.
Well, like for me, the parameters on that one was just like, I want to hopefully make money on this, and by that metric, I succeeded. So,
are they dead?
B. Riley, it's not good. It's not good, Chief. It's not fully dead. But
you don't recover from what happened to them.
No.
And they had to sell their best assets because no one's buying your shitty assets. So to recover from the disaster that they went through and the FRG issues, it's like they had to sell the stuff that you'd need to recover to survive. And it's like, well, we bailed because I was like, yeah, most of the meat was off the bone at that point. I think it was $4.
It was horrendous. It was, at the same time though, it was a nice thing.
This was the initial drop, wasn't it? Oh yeah. Oh my god, I remember that.
Yep. Yeah, I was like immediately like hopped on the Capital Mindset Discord and was like, all right, everybody, like for the first violent drop, I'm like, probably a good idea to take some off. Second big drop, I was like, all right, I'm out. Like,
what was it? It wasn't the filing because they were delaying, and then they put out. Didn't they put out like a 1-page note,
something like
that the numbers would be down? It wasn't even a full release.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I remember that now. It's like, oh my god, it was just fell off. That's a tough thing. Like, these things are shit bags, and you're just going to go like 6 months where it's like not. You're like, why is it not dying? And then just one piece of news just tanks it. Those are the good old days.
Yeah, it was very nice. I'm not as refined.
I'm small.
Yeah, like it's also not the biggest position for me.
I'm literally breaking even on it right now.
Like it for me, I got the exact numbers. Let me see if I can pull that up. But yeah,
I've seen the modeling that like Andrew and them have done, where if it goes a certain direction, it could do really well with it. So
yeah, like it.
This is almost like housing. If you're going to buy this, you just plug, like you probably will be happy in like 5 years, but it might be a really shitty 4.5 years or 3 years.
Oh, never mind. I stand corrected. It's actually a combination of growth. Bumped up to 6 and change percent for me. So
I had to buy this over Dave. I'm not sour about that at all. Not at all. Dave was right there, and I bought this.
It's okay. I didn't buy Dave either.
Oh, that one hurts. That hurts. I'm like,
credit to Garzi.
And I understood the idea.
Yeah, Garzi really broke that down.
I got where he was going. I asked like 2 questions. I get it. And I just didn't freaking pull the trigger.
It's like credit to you, Dan. Though, like you definitely have you have your specific areas that you really like playing in. But like you also will ask some questions in a very niche and optically weird thing because Dave, affirm we're talking what joke is collateralized burrito obligations.
Yeah, I don't get finance company. The only finance company I understand is Goldman Sachs
Mhm.
because I did a lot of research on Goldman's. I know people that work there, so I can.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's the only company I really dug into to understand. And Fabio talked me out of that, and I could have doubled my money. I'm not mad about it.
Not better.
He's like, "Don't buy that pile of shit." I'm like, "Yeah, but it's like it can't get any worse." Like, freaking IPOs were at like a historic low, and it was 290. And I'm like, it's not going. Like, this was one of the first. This was actually a good use of that statement. It's not going anywhere. Most of the time, people say that as a thesis, and it's like that's really retarded. But literally, it was like their business fell off a cliff, and it wasn't really their fault. The Marcus stuff was their fault, but
Yeah.
not like. But it's not their fault that no one went public, right?
Yeah, and
For a chunk of time, that whole business like was done. And I'm like, the Apple Card is a separate. Could put that aside. It's a shitty deal, but I don't think it's really hurt them. Whatever. And then they recovered from the Marcus, and then their normal business activity perked up, and I think it got up to like, was it now? Yeah. Yep. I mean, there's no reason to buy it now. That's
yeah,
about what it's
pretty
worth,
much.
probably. Something this mature, and there's
Mhm.
not infinite growth possibilities with a company like this. So they're kind of range bound. Kind of like HII. I think HII is kind of a range bound stock too, honestly. Right? You're
Honestly,
not building any more ports,
Mhm.
right? There's no more ports to be built. So stuff like that, where you have caps on growth, they're kind of range bound stocks. And you can actually use modeling to
Mhm.
value stuff like this. I think better use for modeling. Certain companies you can't model really. So
Yeah.
Echoes comes in at the end.
Yep. What is it?
There's lots of streams I have to catch up on after this. People doing, I think Elon caused a lot of people to do streams today. So there's 3 that popped up I got to watch after this.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
But so we covered everything. Not much else. I mean, I think Fabio will be back in a week. So if people are wondering, he
Mhm.
might do some streams in a week or so when he gets back. You never know when he'll pop on.
This is true.
Yeah, you literally never know. So I think
Um,
that's it for today. Anything else you want? Or
no, just wonderful day in the market. Wonderful day, up or down or sideways.
yeah, there's a few things actually. I got 30 minutes. There's a few moves I'm gonna make. So
Alrighty.
all right. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you again.